on today's class, and then we'll go to questions in the room.
Yeah, always a great day, signing day, and you know, it was I think we were done maybe around 8:30 or so this morning. Had everything all buttoned up. It was really good. And I always say it's you know, it's a blessing when a guy chooses us. I pray about it. You know, that's why I don't worry about guys that we don't get. I always pray that, hey, God's will's done, and we get the guys we're supposed to get, and that's how I look at it. And so, man, it's a blessing when a family and a kid says, you know what, that's where I want to be. Because the type of kids we recruit, they got lots and lots of choices. So when a young man says, hey, that's where I want to be, it's just a big, big deal. And then it's always exciting to get started to actually work with them. You know, you spend a lot of time recruiting and all that, but to actually get a chance to get started working with them is always fun and exciting for the kid. And in this case, we got a lot of mid-years, so a lot of these kids will be in here for the postseason, you know, preparation and all that stuff, and can be a part of it with us. So that's always fun and kind of get a head start. But I will say this: I think, because this has been as we all know, unusual, you know, year. Kind of. I'd say the past 4 years have been kind of, you know, COVID, you know, a lot of changes in college, NIL, portal, you know, just you name it across the board. And I think it's probably been the most chaotic time ever for a student athlete. And I think we're probably heading out of that and into maybe the best time ever to be a student athlete. Probably, I really believe that. I think this is going to be, you know, an unbelievable time to be a student athlete, you know, starting next year. You know, with some actual order, great opportunity, probably a new governance structure coming at some point over the next year or so. And I think all of that is going to really, you know, be great. You know, so it's a great time to be a student athlete. And for this group in particular, man, I think this group right here, a lot like the Dandy Dozen, will prove to be very, very special. I really believe that. This is going to be a special group of individuals, especially those guys that have been with us, you know, from day one. I mean, this is some winners, and you know, great families, and just, man, it's awesome to be able to, like I said, get started with them. And every class that we've signed since February of 2009 has won a championship, except last year's freshman class, and then the kids that got here this year. So the class of 23-24, last year's class, and the group that just got here, they're going to get their shot on Saturday. So you know, that's a pretty cool thing that very few people can say, that every class they've signed has won a championship. And you know, these guys have an opportunity to do that this week, and I think this group coming in here certainly will have plenty of opportunity as they go through their Paul journey, as we like to say. But great job by our staff. Great job by our staff. And you know, we didn't have a lot of spots. We're probably a couple of spots too many right now, but we anticipate maybe a couple of guys moving on, so you know, we've got to try to make it all work, and eventually it will, I think. So, but we got we really hit on what we needed, and we got a great team, you know, coming back next year. It's going to be a great team. You got a team this year that's playing for the championship, and anything can happen, and you got a great team coming back next year with some really, really good additions that we needed at some critical positions. So it's awesome. And then just a little bit about the class. 15 guys signed with us today. 13 are mid-years. So, you know, that's huge for us to be able to get those guys in here for the spring. And not here. These guys will all be coming in at different times through the postseason whenever they're done playing and all that stuff. And just depending on how far we go, it's a great opportunity for them to you know, just shorten that learning curve and get going, and for us to get a head start where we can actually be on the field with them and teach and coach and practice and do some things that you're limited on once the season is over. So I think that's until you get spring ball. So I think that's a blessing. Of the 13 mid-years, 9 are offense, 4 are defense, 7 different states, 4 from Virginia, 3 from Georgia, 3 from South Carolina, 2 Florida, 1 from Alabama, 1 from New York. one from Ohio. So position-wise, we needed a quarterback. We got exactly what we needed there. It's just amazing how that worked out. That's a cool story on that. But we needed a quarterback. We wanted with the way the makeup of our roster, we got exactly what we were looking for. And we needed a running back, and we think we got the best guy in the country. We needed one receiver, and depending on how things shake out, we might have to add one more somewhere down the road. I don't know, but we wanted to get one guy, and we love the guy we got. We were taking one tight end. He's been committed the whole time, and then we put a whole class of OL together, especially with eventually our roster, cutting down and having to cut a lot of the walk-on guys that we have. We needed to expand the number there. So we basically signed an OL group. We signed 2 tackles, 2 guards, and a center, and a bunch of mean dudes. These are some monsters, including maybe the best tackle. We'll see. Maybe the best tackle I've ever signed. Coming in the door, he's got a lot of work to do. And then, man, Easton Ware, Easton can play. He's a legit tackle, but he can play probably 5 positions if he had to. So it's a really good Blanchard. He's a dirtbag center guard guy. I'm excited about him. And then, man, when you see Caddis, he is a big, coming from St. X, home of Bockhorst. I know how he's coached. This is a tough kid. So, I'm just excited about the group. Rowan, if you ever get a chance to see him, you talk about a guy that's going to be massive. He is huge and long. Same thing, just won a state championship, a winner. So we got a whole group right there. We signed 1 DN, and we think he's one of the best in the nation. We signed 2 D tackles who we're super excited about. 1 linebacker, 1 safety, and then 1 athlete that could be on either side of the ball and as a returner. So that's kind of the breakdown. We got 6 guys in this class that have already won at least 1 state championship, and 6 guys are still playing right now. Offensively, 10 guys, if you count Marquez on that side, 9 of them mid-years. Chris Denson from Plant City High, Coach Terrence Hicks. I couldn't believe it, actually. Obviously, we had a kid that decided to go elsewhere, and so we were looking for a quarterback, and we really wanted a high school kid that was unique because we obviously believe in Klubnik, and we believe in Vizina. And so we knew what we were looking for, and we know what's coming, down the pipeline. So I really couldn't believe it when I watched his tape for the first time. This kid, have y'all watched this guy's tape?
Not yet.
You need to watch him, Chapel, and just get back to me. Shoot me a text. Y'all watch this guy's tape? Whoa. I watched it like 10 times, and then I said, well, what am I missing? This guy should be recruited by everybody. Just, when you see it. That's all I can tell you. This guy is kind of like Jay Haynes. When you see it. Nobody was recruiting him. I don't know why. Kid's a baller. But man, this kid is special. He's a lefty, and he is a rocket with an arm attached to it. A really, really dynamic player, a great kid. He's coming in next weekend, and just super excited about him. He's exactly what we needed. Gideon Davidson up at Liberty Christian, Coach Frank Rocco. Gideon's been committed. I don't know. I think he was my first commit. I think he was the first commit, and when I offered him, he committed on the spot. Literally, I said, hey, I called him. I was excited because once the calendar turned to his junior year, he was one of my first calls, and I said, hey, man, I'm excited to be able to offer you a scholarship now that you're a junior. He goes, well, I'm committing. And it was like that, like it was over. And he's just, what a family, what a story. Clemson people are going to love this kid. Love this kid. And it's really just, I think God just blessing us. You got this guy, you got this beautiful soul, Phil Maffa, that's getting ready to roll out of here. And God's just blessing us with a guy like Gideon and his family. He's amazing. I mean, he is an amazing, he's an amazing player, but he's just an amazing kid. And his family is unique and special, and just have a great story. So excited about him. Juju is a great player. They had some situation this year. He wasn't able to play all the way into the playoff. They didn't let him start playing whatever with the school. The coach left. He's at Hayfield, and Coach Darrell Overton. What a great job he's done with Juju. But man, this kid is electric. He's long. He's fast. He's explosive. He's got elite ball skills. Just a really, really neat, young man. And y'all are in for a treat when you watch this guy. He's exactly what we're looking for. He can play multiple positions. The fact that he's coming in mid-year is huge. A lot like Wesco. We need to, put some mayonnaise on him a little bit. We need to, get him fed and eating a little more, and get him in that weight program and beef him up a little bit. But what a talent, man! Logan Brooking. That's one of the cool things. We got some of the best guys to ever play in the NFL, Keith Brooking and Brandon Jacobs, and both of them, who know everybody in the football world, are sending their kids to Clemson. To me, that says a lot. Keith obviously was a great linebacker for years and years down at the Falcons, but, man, you talk about a leader, Logan Brooking, this guy, same thing. Once he committed, it was over. His family's amazing. He's mean. He can run. He plays both sides of the ball. So kind of think Davis Allen mentality type of a guy. Davis Allen was a DN linebacker that became a tight end. But Logan plays both ways. He's mean and tough. He can run. We offered him on the spot when we had him in camp. I don't know whatever that was, a couple years ago, but he's been committed a long time, and man, just one of the best kids you'll ever meet. Unbelievable family, and thankful that he and his family are Tigers. Easton Ware, these 5 linemen. Easton Ware, he and Gideon are teammates. Easton is another kid, plays every snap. How many guys play every snap in the offensive line and the defensive line? And Gideon does the same thing. He goes over and plays defense. I mean, they're competing for another state championship right now. Easton Ware, amazing family. He's been committed the whole time, and we had him committed right before Matt got here. And it's interesting because Matt, you don't know. And I remember taking Matt up there. We actually went and watched him play a game in the playoff, and I remember when we were leaving, he said, "Coach," because he wasn't sure because he had never seen him, and he said, "Man," he said, "sometimes you get disappointed when you go see a guy." He said, "This guy doesn't disappoint." And he loved his toughness. And then he came to camp. So Matt had never worked with him until he came to camp. And Matt's exact words were, "Coach, this might be the most under-recruited guy in the country." That's what he said about Easton Ware. And so he's a big-time player, and really excited about him. Braden Jacobs, as I said, time will tell, and we shall see. But on paper, he might be the best tackle I've ever signed. I mean, 6'7", 320s and some biscuits. This guy is, and he's just this. Have any of y'all talked to Braden? Is he not the sweetest kid on the planet? He's like the nicest kid on the planet, but he's mean on the football field. And he's long and he's athletic. He can move. And the only thing is, every time I see him, I see his dad, and I'm like, I feel sorry for the people who had to tackle his dad for a living in the NFL. But a great family. I mean, just so thankful that they supported Braden and what he wanted to do and what was in his heart and his dream. Everybody's tried to recruit him. Everybody's tried, because everybody knows Brandon, and everybody's tried to come. And man, this is one of the most pure families you're ever going to meet, and just really, really excited about what this kid's going to be. And it's such a good situation with Tristan and Blake. He's exactly what we need. In fact, he could help us, the Saturday if I could get him out of there. But he's coming out of Milton. Coach Ben Reeves, Rowan Byrne, another kid that I just fell in love with. He's up at Iona Prep in New York. Coach Joe Spagnolo. And Rowan is just he's a guy that, first of all, he's incredibly communicative. Like, he's just an over-communicator. He loves to communicate. He loves to stay engaged. He's got a great mom and dad, a great family. But he is nasty and mean. And he don't have to bend over to tie his shoes, okay? I mean, he is long and going to grow into his body, and just a guy that Matt fell in love with and brought in here. And I'm like, and went up to see him, and he's like, "You're going to like this guy." And he was right when he came in here. Super. He just won a state championship. Blanchard, I'm really proud of this kid. He was a kid that hung in there. Like, early on, we really wanted to offer him, but he had a little work that he needed to do. And, I told him, I said, if you want to come to Clemson, this is what you're going to have to do. And man, he did. He went and did everything he needed to do. And I just think being at Clemson is important to him. Same thing, a great family. He's got a couple teammates that he played with in high school that are on our team. Played with the Woodhouses, and I'm just really excited about Gavin. He's a true center guard, and something that we really need. He's strong. He's powerful. He's coming out of Wiregrass Ranch High School. Coach Mark Cantor, and then Tucker Caddis was a young man that told us a few weeks ago he was coming, and same thing. He's coming out of St. X up there in Ohio. Coach Steve Speck. Now all those guys are mid-years except for Tucker, but Tucker is same thing. If you haven't watched his tape, watch his tape. What he does on tape is just shows how well coached he is, so I'm excited about him. A big body to come in and fill the interior for us. Marquez Henderson. BHP, Coach Blackston over there. Y'all know about him. He's one of the most dynamic players I think in the whole Southeast. He can do a lot of things, and if you get a guy out of BHP, he's tough. You better believe that. And so I'm really excited about Marquez and all that he will be able to do, whether it's running back, slot, corner, returner. There's a lot of things that he can do, and he's just an awesome kid. Defensively, we signed 5 guys, 4 mid-years. Ari Watford out of Maury High School up in Virginia. Coach McCain up there, unbelievable program, great program. This guy is exactly what we need to come in here on top of Darian Mayo, who wait till y'all see Mayo and what he looks like right now, and super excited about him. You talk about a guy that's taking advantage of his redshirt opportunity. Now here comes Ari in here mid-year. Mayo wasn't able to be a mid-year. Ari coming in here, man, just what we need. Long, big, ready-made to come off the edge. And then, 2 great D tackles. Maury Adams out of South Florence here. Coach Marlowe down there. They're still playing. But we think he's the best D tackle in the nation. And, we think he's, just a great player. He's got huge upside. He's an athlete. He's a good basketball player. Just a great kid. Dad's a coach. I mean, he comes from a big-time athletic family. So I'm really excited about him. And then Mekhi Williams-Lee. Just think Grady Jarrett when you think about this kid. That's what I saw when I watched his tape. And he's got an edge to him. He's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder the way Grady did coming in here. This kid is a great football player, and super excited about him. He's coming out of Lakeside down in Georgia, Coach Starr, and he'll be a summer enrollee. Amari will be mid-year. And then we got a linebacker, Logan Anderson, another guy he's one of the best players in Alabama, two-way guy, plays every snap. Coach Paul Benefield at Fife, I've known for, I don't know, 35 years or so. I signed one of his kids when I was coaching at Alabama when he was at Sylvania High School. And so I've known him a long time. There's not a tougher coach but you can play for Paul Benefield, you play for anybody. And this guy is as tough as they come. Really excited about Logan. He can fly. And then Jakarian Kari, as he goes by, Keenan, he's Marlboro County right here. Another kid that we found late. And, same thing. When you watch this kid's tape, you only got to watch about 4 clips So really excited about the needs that we met and the class that we've got put together. And again, a couple unique things. Braden Jacobs, I told you about. Logan Brooking, a couple of NFL bloodlines. Virginia, we signed, I think it's the most we've signed out of Virginia since 1972. So what's that? 1976. And then Tucker Caddis, that's our fourth offensive lineman. Every single one of them have been dudes. Bockhorse was a dude. Jackson Carmen, dude. Blake Miller, I think he's pretty good. And then now we got Big Tucker coming in here. So, really cool group of guys. Super excited about them and fired up about it. All right, I got some time for some questions. If you guys want to ask some questions.